What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Wars. Thanks for joining me today. We are here for a beautiful Monday. Made some profits today. Really happy to start the week off green. And there was some great price action on SPY. Really crazy rally into the close. This V bottom occurred here. And I'm going to actually be going over this V trigger method that was really great today. So if you're ready, let's step into the war zone. So first and foremost, why don't you hit me with a 1 and just let me know where you're tuning on from today. Let me shout you out a bit. Thank you for all the Trading Wars Army members in here. Let me go ahead and retweet this live now. Learn how to V trigger. Boom. Let's see if we can get some more of our friends out here right now. All right. So before we get into the price action here, let me shout out some of you guys. Jonathan, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Mauricio, Roop, One Only, what's going on? Lorna, what's going on? Cade, what's going on? Jonathan, Trading Wars Army in the building. Kajak from Mississippi, what's going on? Mr. Lay from New York City, what's going on? Mauricio, El Salvador, what's going on, brother? Mike in the building, thank you, my brother, for being here. Wayne from South Florida, what's going on? All right, good to see you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's do one more. Kuti from Chicago, what's up, brother? Trading Wars Army in the building. Boom. Hey, we got a $10 donation right off the bat. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, brother. I hope you made some gains today. Thank you. All right, let's do this right now. K Trader, Michael A, what's going on? So let's hit the replay and let's discuss. Boom. Here we go. All right. So the first thing we always have to do each and every day is draw the previous day's high and low. That is going to be the most important thing so we understand where we are opening. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in yellow. Okay, so we have yellow here and we have yellow here. Okay, so this is the previous day's high and low. So that's very important. The other thing that I like to do on my charts is go to the trigger day trade. So the trigger trade, I always posted the night before. What's the point of it is just having levels on your chart where you go long above a certain level, short below a certain level. What's going on, Roman? What's going on, Evans Adventures? Good to see you guys. Okay, so our long plan today was 452.53. Okay, so let me go ahead and draw that red line in here. Okay, so here we go, 452.53. So I want you to pay attention to this line here. This line is going to be very important. So let's make this line green. This line is going to be very important because a lot of the price action was centered around this line today, which is a trigger. So the trigger is basically a line that I'm looking for. It's a level that I'm looking for to go in long before we reach the previous day's high. So this type of trading, I like to call it front running, where basically we're anticipating a breakout before it even happens. And what it does is allows us to get better risk to reward. Hit me with a 3 if that makes sense. So a trigger level for me, I like to trade with good risk to reward. So if I wait for 453, let's say this level to break up here, then I'm playing a losing game, in my opinion, because I'm getting in late to the party and I'm going to have a bad risk to reward. But if I can come in a bit early, if I can come in earlier to the party, right, then I can get a good risk reward. And if you look at this level for me, one of the key things that I liked here was that it lined up right here with this previous high on this outside bar. So I like to use the levels and line them up with certain support and resistance, structure, fibs, different things. And it's just allowing me to get in early. Okay. So let's continue now. We'll start off here with the 5. Boom. All right. So we had this little bit of a doji candle here. And this candle, can you agree with me, opened inside of the previous day's range? Do you agree with me? Hit me with a 1 if you agree with me. Did this candle open inside of the range or outside of the range? What do you guys think? So 1 for inside, 2 for outside. And let me go ahead to the live rich commentary and I'm going to walk you through, okay? So good morning, team. We're opening inside today with the long trigger right above us, okay? So I will not be taking an opening range breakout. And right here, we had this neutral bar opening here, need to be patient. So I just waited for this green line to come into play, which is the trigger. I didn't want to go earlier in just because I didn't know if it's going to be a lot of chop, because generally on these inside days, we have some choppiness. And then eventually, usually by the end of the day, we have a climax, because in the beginning, we're trying to see who's going to be the winner of the day. Is it going to be the bulls or the bears? Okay. So next candle comes in, almost fills us here. It was about 1 penny away. And then boom, we get filled right there. Okay. So you'll see my commentary right here. So I said we got long at 940. And all I did here, guys, was because it was the first trade of the week and I just wanted to lock in some green. As soon as we passed over this resistance here, which was this high of 452.79, once we started clearing that, I just scaled out a lot. I scaled out a lot of my position right there because I'm thinking in my head that maybe we're going to probably just reject. And once we started pulling back down, I bailed on the rest of the position. Okay, that's what I did personally because I wanted to be green to start the week. That usually helps me with the rest of my trades for the day. So right after that, guys, we had an inside bar. Okay, so this was even better because this inside bar was sitting right on our level. So the way you trade this inside bar is if it breaks the high, you want to go long. If it breaks the low, you want to go short. So you remain neutral. So you can see here, we broke the high and we had a 2-leg push. So 2-candle push. So both situations there, guys, is very clean right there. Okay, so clean money right there. The yellow is the previous day's high, which is going to be one of my targets, correct? It's not like I like to hold on to some stuff, but because it's Monday, I want to just lock in some profits right away. Okay, so we had that beautiful 2-leg push up here on the inside bar. So, and then we had this right away. So this is, remember what I just said, right around the previous day's high, we can have a lot of resistance, right? It could be a trap. So that's why I scale out. Boom, boom, boom. We scale out because we don't know if it's going to just reverse on us like this. Okay, so hit me with a 5 if you followed me there. Okay, hit me with a 5 if all that makes sense. And then what happens now is the Fibonacci comes into play. So we took this Fibonacci trade. I'm going to show you. I actually took it in the small account with Dairy. And you'll see how we played this one, okay? So what you do now, guys, is this is the morning Fibonacci leg that I talk about in my book. You could clearly see that we pushed vertically up, right? We pushed vertically up. And with this push up here, guys, what you do is you're going to take your Fibonacci tool and you're going to go ahead back to the open, which was right here. And you're going to take the low and pull it up to the high. So what we're looking to buy here is the 50, the 618, and the 786. These three are the golden areas. But personally, I didn't go long on the 50, went long on the 618 and the 786. These two levels, okay? So the maximum stop loss was the low. So watch how this plays out. Okay, so initially we kind of chop a bit. We have a double inside bar that breaks down. So that double inside bar is also a valid trade if anybody just wanted to go ahead and take that fractal trade. But what I did here is I went long right there on the 618 and then on the 786. Okay, so can you see the Fibonacci? Like, can you see the algorithm interacting here? Hit me with a 3 if you can see that. Can you see that algorithm? Like you could see the buy happening, right? You could see the long wick. That is a good sign of, hey, like somebody's buying here with the fib. So, it gives you some kind of confidence, some kind of confluence. Okay. So a brother here said the 786 play paid for me for the week. Amazing, brother. All right. So what we did here is we loaded up, bam, bam. Okay. And we started to turn. There's your push up. There's your push there. Okay. So the way that I like to do it is this. If you're very aggressive, when we come back up, you see, people ask me like, why do you have all of these other levels? These other level guys are targets. These are targets on the way back up. Targets, targets, targets. Okay. So you can use these as targets to help you. Okay. So here we go again. We retested the 786 one more time and then we started to turn. Boom. Okay. So right here, we had this craziness. So unfortunately, this candle took me out of the rest of the position. Basically, I moved the stops up once we started to move here, and then this one took us out. So that was a little bit sad, but we still did get a good bounce, like a good enough bounce to make some money. The runners, unfortunately, did not work out. Okay. So something to note that's very interesting is, remember, this was the 786 down here. Okay. And now if we draw the opposing leg, so the opposing leg is the opposite leg that I talk about in my book, right? Now we have this push down from high to low. Notice how we reject right at the 786. Okay. So that to me actually blew my mind because we saw the 786 here and the 786 here. So we had two algorithms fighting for dominance. We had the bull on the 786 and the bear on the 786. And you could see every time we got there, we had a major reaction, like a major move. Hit me with a 3 if you see that. Do you guys see what I'm talking about there? So that was just really, it was really great to see because it just gives you confidence that the fibs there's something happening, right? You're not just guessing, like there's some type of interaction. So whether you played it long 786 or you played the other side 786 to the short, it still was great, was a great trade. Okay. And then from there, I was pretty much done until we had the V. So remember now, remember this green line. Okay. So the first play that we had, we took the break of the green line and we were able to scale out right here. Then we made a new high. Okay. And now I'm always watching for the afternoon. Okay. Like later into the day. So like usually the last 2 or 3 hours to see what happens with the green line. So you could see this whole time, right? Every time, even when we pulled back below the green line, we come back up. We pull back below, we come back up. We pull back below, we come back up. So each time you take that long trigger, guys, it's still a good level to play off of. And then lastly, later in the day, you can see this here. We came and look at this. You see how precise it is? It's pretty crazy. We had a 4-wick rejection there. And then now watch. Once we turn the corner, 5, 6-wick rejection, 7-wick rejection, 8, boom. That's a candle that takes it. A little bit of choppiness, and then boom, we start to explode, right? So I just wanted to share with you that importance. And the V trigger, what it looks like is you have like a pull back through the trigger, and then you go back again through it. So you pull back into it, and then you come back out of it. So you could play off of those levels, right? The levels that I provide, you could just play off of that level and just watch the interaction. What's happening? It's just intense. And the level is Fibonacci based as well as average true range. I have a few things in there. It's like a formula that I use. Okay. And I just noticed that it's been working really well. It's just, I feel so compelled to share this with you guys. There's so many ways, guys. There's so many ways to make money. You could see like, you could be done within the first hour if you want to. You could trade the whole day, but you know, like I don't really recommend that because a lot of people can get burnt out. But if you wait for the right setups, you can always have those opportunities. All right. Hit me with a 10 if you followed me on today's SPY recap. Hit me with a 10. So again, anybody that's new, I know we had a lot of new members. The trigger trades are posted every night in the trigger trade channel. Some people solely use the trigger trade, period. And that's all they do. And some people work and they just put the trigger trade in and they just walk away. Either way is fine. I always recommend people to do the 100 trade challenge. Do 100 triggers before you make a judgment on it. Obviously, it's been on an amazing winning streak, but that can change at any point in time. That's how trading is. All right. And I wanted to actually go to Tesla and show you guys, because Tesla, we had a call out on Tesla yesterday. So if you follow the channel, we do live, free picks every day. So Tesla was the pick from last night, and we talked about it briefly with the double inside bar. So let's talk about this. I wanted to talk to you guys about this and just show you. So we had the double inside bar. Okay. So most people will ask me this all the time. Like, so what do you do if we gap up? So let me show you exactly what we do. Okay. So hit the replay here and I'm going to walk you through this. Okay. So if we gap up like this, the first thing you can do is an opening range breakup. Okay. That's the first thing you can do. You can do an orb. But on this play, we actually had something that was very unique. And you're gonna remember. So SPY had that 618 leg, right? We had that push up and then we had that 618. Now watch Tesla here. So if we take it from low to high, oops, it's the wrong tool. If we go from low to high, watch this now, okay? So remember, SPY could not make a new high. But there's some stocks like Tesla, for example, that have a little bit more power, a little bit more divergence, whatever you want to call it. And that's why it's good. That's why I always mix it up. I trade SPY, but I also trade my stocks. The ones that I post, I trade those because it's good to have a mixture. Because if, let's say SPY is having a bad day, but if you took the same exact trade on Tesla, maybe it would have worked. So I just wanted to point that out. So here was the 618, okay? But look at this 618, okay? So yes, we dipped a little bit more to the 786, just like we did in SPY. It was basically the same thing. But in this case here, we made a new high. See that? We made a new high. But if we go back to SPY, which was right here, if we take the fib from here to here, we did not make a new high. And I wanted to point that out to you guys because people always ask me, like, what do you do when you have a very bullish gap? 618 first leg is usually very powerful. Okay, from my testing, from my trading. And if you look at this closely, guys, Tesla never made a new low of day, whereas SPY did go down. So the strategies that you're using, you want to be like a little bit unbiased, meaning you don't care what you're trading as long as it's good volume, good spreads. You take your plays. Okay, you take your trade. All right, hit me with the 9 if that makes sense. Hit me with the 9 if that makes sense. JB, I printed ridiculous on Tesla today. That's amazing, brother. Yeah, I mean, we knew that something was coming today, right? I mean, if we look at the daily chart, the double inside bar is a rare pattern. And if we were really on top of this, how could we have traded this? Somebody tell me. Okay, so I didn't see this double inside bar until the weekend because I didn't run the scans until the weekend. So I kind of missed this great opportunity, but you still could have made money. I think you could have doubled the calls intraday. But I'm going to ask you guys a question. How could you really capitalize on this the most? What do you guys think? I want to see what your guys' thoughts are. So remember, every time an inside bar happens, we are getting a tightening range, right? We're going tightening, and tightening, okay? So what that means is that the options related to that time frame, it's going to be condensing, right? The premium is going to be decaying because you're not making a move. So when you have a rare pattern like a double inside bar, you can, exactly what you said here, brother, CA, let me put them up on the screen. Boom. You can just take a gamble, a calculated gamble. Okay, a calculated gamble. What's the calculated gamble? You buy calls on Friday at the close. And whatever you put into those calls, you take the full risk. But you know that you're probably getting a good deal because the double inside bar condensed the range. It killed some of the premiums. So you give it a shot on Friday into the close and you say, all right, I'm going to put in $1,500 on Tesla, full risk. If I'm wrong, I lose 1,500. But if I'm right and we run for the whole of next week, I might do a 5 times. I might take 1,500 to 5K or 10K. You can do plays like that. So that is very, very powerful. All right. And I'm going to try to make an effort to be like, I guess we'd have to scan basically 10 minutes before the close on Friday and look for these type of rare plays and see if, we could take a little bit of gambles into the next week, but calculated gambles, meaning whatever you put in, you're willing to lose. But if you're right and you go and it runs the next week, you can make a lot of money. All right. Hit me with a 7 if that makes sense. Yeah. So Tesla is very expensive. So maybe, on other stocks, definitely you could do this. You could do the same approach, right? The only issue is you're going to have to bet on a side, right? You're going to have to choose a side, and you could do something as simple as, looking at the 200 moving average, something like brain dead, right? You could be like, all right, we're above the 200, I'm going long, below the 200, I'm going to go short. Just if you want to simplify it. Yeah. All right. K Trader, brother. For the fibs, just go here, Trading Wars right here, Fibonacci and option masteries. These are the ones that I recommend using. Right, where did it go? These ones, okay? Those ones right there. So you can use these, put these on your chart, okay? All right, there we go. I want to thank you very much for giving me some of your time today. I really appreciate you. I'm very grateful to have you here today, my friends. If you enjoyed and you learned, please do leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to trade live with us tomorrow in the room, check me out at tradingwars.com. If you get any one of our 3 books, you get 1 month for free in the room. So you can learn and trade at the same time, which is the best combination. Or you can just sign up directly for the rooms on the main webpage. All right. Otherwise than that, starting off green, it's a long week, so we just have to be a little bit careful. But I'm going to try my best to continue the winning streak that we've been on. All right. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment. You have a chance to win the giveaway if you do. And I will see you tomorrow.